There's a modern American proverb which says, "Don't stand still while life rushes by." It's an aggressive way of saying, grab opportunities while you can. This program is about students who have stayed on. After the fifth form, students taking a surprisingly wide variety of courses. Today, the City of Leeds School buzzes with students on courses specially devised to meet individual requirements. Last year, they were fifth formers, but not anymore. Nowadays, the sixth form is no longer just for those preparing for university entrance. In the sixth form today, students take courses which you might have thought were only available at technical colleges. Here's a modern sixth former starting his day's work. It's not perhaps what you'd have expected. These days, it's not just A-levels. Courses are aimed at preparing students for the world of work. Mark is doing a real day's work, not vague work experience, but practical work as part of the sixth form course.
We've been putting lights up, doing sockets, doing everything electrical, and I didn't know anything about it before I came, and I've really enjoyed it.
Mark was doing a tech course. These boys from the same school are doing 1 day a week on a farm as part of a City and Guilds course. Courses like these are designed for students who wouldn't traditionally be thinking of going into the sixth form. This practical work complements the theory which they learn in a classroom with the help of a computer.
And we're going to imagine that that's Mr. Ford's farm. So it's a dairy farm, and it's in the eastern part of Britain. And I want you to decide which crops we're going to plant in which field, bearing in mind that it's a dairy farm like Mr. Ford's, with the same sort of pattern of crops. Keith, if you'd like to type in some of the crops that are available. First of all...
These students, Keith, Khalid and Ranjan, thought seriously of leaving school at the end of the fifth year, as many of their friends did.
Okay.
I was interested to hear why they decided to stay on.
Keith, you and Khalid and Ranjan decided to stay on at school in the sixth form to do the City and Guilds course. Why did you decide to stay?
Well, me myself, I decided to stay on because the people I've heard who left school didn't get many jobs really. But I thought I'd try and get into technical, right? So I went on to the tech course. Well, unfortunately, we weren't really allowed, all of us. No one really wanted to do the City and Guilds course. But we got recommended for it. And I thought, well, I'll try the City and Guilds course out. And after a few weeks, if it don't work out, I'd probably leave. But I think I enjoy it a lot more.
Good. What about your parents? Did they want you to stay on, or did they want you to go out and earn some money?
Well, they really wanted me to go out and earn some money, but I tried to tell them that there wasn't much chance. Might as well try on a further education. I think it's a better way to do this.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of going to catering after I leave school.
Mm-hmm.
My dad and mum wanted me to stay at school, and I'll go to college, but I wanted to stay on school. Because at college, you have to know all the teachers, but at school, you know where everything is. It's better.
The three boys run a business inside the school, finding out about profits and losses.
What we're doing is selling a stationery shop in school, selling pens, pencils, rubbers, things like that. It was all right at the beginning, but then 2 days it dropped down a bit, but now it's picking up again, you see. So when it dropped down, we were running out of stock, that's why. But we got some more stock and it's going a lot better now. It's picking up.
You keep your own books and
Yeah.
you see how much profit you're making and what stock you need to buy in. How are you doing then, all right?
Well, doing all right, yeah, meantime.
We're already familiar with the idea of adding L to a straight stroke, where we put a small hook onto the right-hand side.
These girls are taking the Advanced Business Studies course. It's the kind of course they could have taken at college, but they preferred to stay at school. These girls have quite high qualifications, but there is another business course for those who aren't so highly qualified.
We can do that to any of the straight strokes simply by adding a hook we make it read, in this case, T and R, D and R, CH and R, and J and R.
Slides for the tape slide program that you're making have come back. The next thing is you must get your script to go on the tape finalized.
In this Beck group, they're learning about communication skills, how to tell and show people clearly and accurately what it is you want them to know.
Slowly you've got this check filling up. It's quite nice.
Today there are tape recorders and slides to explain the correct way to fill in a bank check. It involves writing, speaking, and using slides and photographs.
You want to put some sound in there, perhaps a record.
What do you think of money makes the world go round?
Yeah, that sounds sensible.
Fiona, you and Karen and Lisa and Maria are staying on at school doing a Beck course. What does Beck mean?
Beck stands for Business Education Council, and it's a course run by them. And it sort of puts you into a work situation, and you learn things what you're going to use in an office, like filing and typing and, you know, general things what you use in an office, and how to write letters and communicate clearly. Sort of divided into 7 sections: calculations, world of work, clerical services, typing, accounts, and government. And it's not really lessons, it's sort of just experiencing things in those things.
Lisa, if you had left school, you could have perhaps gone on to a government training scheme and you could be earning £25 a week. Now, you're not earning anything now. Why didn't you do that?
Well, a YOP scheme is just for people that have left school and that haven't got any qualifications, but they could have stopped on at school. And £25 don't go very far. It keeps you in bus fares and dinners and board for your mum and dad, and that's it. By the end of the week, you've got about £2 left or something like that.
Like the others, I wasn't really too sure going to college because it was just too much of a big step to take, and all my friends were going to stay on, and I felt, it's like, you know, I've known them all these years, and I didn't really want to break away from them. And also, I wanted something better. I wanted to get more qualifications because there's no chance of getting a job if you didn't have any qualifications. And they're asking for more and more qualification now, so I decided it was best for me.
Maria, couldn't you say that staying on at school for this year is only putting off the problem of unemployment or making a decision?
No, well, I mean, when you finish this course, if you pass it, you can go on to do further education, other courses and that. So you're bound to get a job at the end of it with all these qualifications that you can get. I think I'll be able to get a job as soon as I've finished.
An enterprising group are running a jewellery business after school hours, and they can sell all that they make. They even have a sales director and a company accountant. I asked the headmaster at the City of Leeds School, Mr. Scott, about the wide range of courses.
Well, in 1972, the schools in the City of Leeds were in fact grammar schools or secondary modern. In 1972, they were changed to comprehensive schools and reorganised at that time. And at this time, the grammar schools in their sixth form were teaching basically A-level courses, with some O-level repeats and some CSE repeats, but the predominant courses followed were those at A-level. With the evolution of the comprehensive school, the sixth form have now become fully comprehensive. This means that all pupils leaving the fifth year, becoming students in the sixth form, have a wide range of ability. They have a normal distribution curve of ability from the very bright to those that are average, through to those that are less average. And over the past 2 or 3 years, there's been an increasing number staying on in schools for many reasons, social reasons being one, unemployment reasons being another. But there is a will by students nowadays to increase their qualifications.
Some students, however, do prefer to make a clean break with school at the end of the fifth form and go to a college specialising in career training. Here at the Thomas Danby College, also in Leeds, are many students who didn't want to stay at school, including Tracy Wade, who couldn't get away from school quick enough. I asked her about the change from school to college.
I think by the beginning of the 5th year, I was getting fed up of school and decided that I would leave in the 6th form. So by the time the exams came round, I was a bit fed up. So when you were told to revise, and I didn't revise as much as I should do, but I suppose I did like school and I didn't. There were days that you thought, oh, I can't go in today, Blue Monday, things like that. Some days I didn't go in at all. The teachers, they were okay. Some, all you did was work, you know. Some didn't have a sense of humour at all. School, homework, I never did homework all that much. Tried to get out of that as much as possible. Copied it up first thing next morning, or copied it from somebody else.
Although Tracy is pleased to be at college, she did try working in a hairdressing salon immediately after leaving school.
I was going to get a job at first. I tried in a salon for an apprenticeship. But I tried 2 places. One, the boss was Turkish and I couldn't understand a word he was saying. And you just have to start from scratch. And I know that's the way to do it, but I don't know, I thought I can't do this. And the other one I tried, that didn't work out either, so I decided I'd apply for college.
I asked her what she'd expected from college. How did she think it would be different?
I thought it'd be more grown-up. People, they treat you more like an adult. You could call the teachers by their first names. There'd be no school uniform. You could wear whatever you liked. It'd be just more free.
Last year, 5th formers, today training to be motor mechanics on City and Guild courses. Like hairdressing, this isn't the kind of course you can do at school, which is one reason why Rosemary and Neil left the City of Leeds School.
Rosemary, when you and Neil were in the 5th form at school, you both decided to leave and to come out to college and do a course in college. Tell me about the course you're doing.
Well, it's a technical diploma course where I'm actually getting involved in the cars and I do electrical side as well. At the end of the course, I should be a qualified technician, which means I could do any sort of jobs, which I'd rather, as long as I'm involved with cars, I'm not really bothered. I could go onto the spare parts side or actually become a mechanic, which either I'm not really fussed about, as long as I'm involved in them.
What about you, Neil? What course are you doing?
I'm doing a diploma course. I think it's stepped down from ours, and we do more or less both sides, technical and mechanic side, engines. And I'd like to do more the mechanic side than the technical side. I think it's more helpful to me because I like to get my hands mucking.
Rahila, I'm going to show you how you can do some hand tracing. Blow, blow, just blow.
One popular course with girls in technical colleges is that of nursery nursing.
Cardigan. Cardigan. What's the television? Television.
Sharon Perkins has had no regret since she left the City of Leeds School to train as a nursery nurse. I asked her what they do on the course.
They do mainly child development and social work and aspects to, teach you to teach the children, like numeracy. You have to do art to be able to adapt skills and metalwork.
Do you spend a lot of time out of the college in schools?
Most of the time, because we go to college one week and then to a placement another week, and we just do that most of the time. So and when we're in college, we're doing mainly crafts as well.
I asked Sharon how she'd liked her final year at school.
I just didn't like it at all. I hated it. I didn't like the subjects. You're treated as children. Too many rules, uniforms I didn't like. Just didn't like going generally.
Greenhead College in Huddersfield is a 6th form college. At Greenhead, many students are hoping to go to universities, including Oxford and Cambridge. Many others will be happy enough with good A or O levels, and some will be happy with good CSE results. I asked one of the senior tutors, Mrs. Stewart, to describe a 6th form college.
Well, I think, say, as opposed to the technical college, we are a smaller environment. We in this situation, are about 500 students, whereas the technical college has a much wider range of courses and more students. I think we're a transition stage between a secondary school and a technical college. And for some of the students, they do find it just a little bit frightening, I think, to go into what is or appears to be a huge building, a huge college. They have a lot of free time. They've got to organise themselves. And we do try our best here to help the students to organise their free time, which they will have. This may be something new, I think, compared with the 11 to 16 schools where they have a set timetable.
I decided to come to sixth form college because I didn't really do very well with my O-levels at school, and I didn't really want to go to tech because I thought that would be too big a step to take from going to college.
College is more relaxed than school was, and the teachers don't pressure you as much as they did at school, and you feel more at ease with them.
I didn't do very well in my O-levels, so I wanted to pass them and hopefully go into an A-level course. But if you go to the tech, it's much bigger than this place as well. There's so many more pupils, and here the teachers, they know you by sight and know your names, most of them. And I think that if you go to the tech, really, you need to know what type of course you're going to do, because they do special courses for catering and things like that. And I didn't, well, I don't even know now, you know, my final career. So I wanted to get more O-levels and then go on to the A-level courses.
The main difference is the relationship with your teachers, because they don't pressure you as much, and you seem to be able to talk to them, whereas in school you didn't.
We do like to have an easy relationship with them. We are very conscious of helping them to mature, because I think this is one of our very important functions, to help a 16-year-old grow up, help them to understand themselves, help them to understand what they want to do with their lives. And we feel if we can have a good relationship between staff and students, that this is a long way towards helping them. In this particular college, we have approximately 100 places each year for CSE pupils, and we do encourage them to come to the college, and we enjoy putting on the courses for them. I would say that you're going to move into a very different world in the sixth form college. You're going to meet new friends and new people for a start, which I think is very good in the process of growing up. That you will find the staff, I think, more approachable. I think you've got to remember that staff are not having to teach pupils, we'll call them, of 11 years age. They're able to teach and adjust to students of the 16 to 19 age group. And many of these are very adult in their approach to life. And I think this helps us as staff greatly. We have smaller groups. The students will be coming to smaller teaching groups, smaller tutor groups, as we call them. And I think that helps them a lot. And the staff are, I think, very much involved with what we call extracurricular activities. We have a number of holidays each year, some abroad, and it won't be just one or two staff in charge, it will be staff and their families in some cases. And I think this all is conducive to a much friendlier environment.
So what is careers teaching concentrating on? Mrs. Cooper, City of Leeds School.
Concentrating on making the pupils more flexible in their approach to their future. They can no longer go along with the attitude of, I will get a job when I leave school. No longer feasible at all. So they've got to be aware of all the different possibilities in front of them, the different courses that they can go on, and the fact that they may well have to retrain several times during their future.
I think it's essential that they continue either with their education and, of course, training that goes synonymously with it at this age. I think just to leave school or education at this point is disastrous. They have to make sure that they receive an education that will lead them to higher education, to whatever their ability will take them, because it's education for life, and also at the same time to make sure that they have the flexibility to be able to adjust in a rapidly changing job situation, where they may well change their jobs on a number of occasions during their working life.
That brings us to the end of our programmes for schools and colleges for this morning. They'll be starting again tomorrow at 9:30 with People and Politics. This is Central on Thursday, March the 3rd, and programmes for very young children begin at 12 o'clock with Teetime and Claudia. But for the next few minutes, here's a little music. Well, now, welcome to our youngest viewers. Have you ever made music with 3 bottles and a coffee jar? Well, Mooncat will be doing just that in 10 minutes. But first, Teetime and Claudia.
I'm neat and sweet. I keep my feet always clean and tidy. Auntie loves me more than him, I'm sure. I'm calm and always sensible. I'm such a very clever cat.
I know I'm slow and sometimes show a nerve or two. But Auntie loves me as much as her, I think. I'm loyal and very lovable. I'm what they call the family dog. My name is Teetime.
My name is Claudia.
We like each other